What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Fulltime MMA, and we are here today to talk about what is shaping up to be one of the most anticipated fight cards of the year. We have current UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya set to defend his middleweight title versus Alex Pereira at UFC 281 in the main event. But also, we have Michael Chandler versus Dustin Poirier being targeted for UFC 281. But before we break down and discuss those fights, help a brother out, hit the thumbs up button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. Don't be a baby back, bagel biting beta male, because you know what time it is. It's full-time MMA. That's right, Israel Adesanya is set to defend his middleweight title versus Alex Pereira at UFC 281 in the main event. This is going to take place at Madison Square Garden, and this is going to be a very highly anticipated fight because Israel Adesanya is the current UFC middleweight champion. But before he came to the UFC, he was a world kickboxing champion, and one of the only people he lost to in kickboxing was this Alex Pereira guy. Alex Pereira continued in kickboxing. He's got 2 wins over Israel Adesanya. One of those was knocking Adesanya out stiff. So while he was over in kickboxing, Adesanya was having his success in the UFC, becoming the middleweight champion, defending his title numerous times. Adesanya has made the middleweight champion his stomping grounds, and now Alex Pereira is seeing that success and jumped over to UFC, and now he's 3 fights in fighting for the title. He's won 3 fights. Most recently, he knocked out Sean Strickland, which is what was able to propel him to this title fight. That win right there was over a top contender, so it was able to legitimize Alex Pereira as a top contender, which allowed him to get a title shot so early in his career. With that being said, this fight's very likely to play out on the feet, as both of these guys have kickboxing backgrounds. We've seen Alex Pereira knock Adesanya out stiff when they're fighting just on the feet. You could argue that Pereira has better kickboxing. And with that being said, it'll be very interesting to see if Israel Adesanya will be utilizing his wrestling, his grappling. He is an MMA fighter now. He's got great takedown defense. I'm sure he's got some offense with it too. It'll be interesting to see if he becomes a wrestler in this fight. So you're a wrestler now? It'll be interesting to see if he's forced to utilize his grappling in this match, or if he wants to fight fire with fire, and we end up seeing Alex Pereira becoming a UFC champion just 4 fights into his career. That would be insane too. So I'm looking forward to this fight. I can't wait to see how it plays out. These guys have a lot of animosity already toward each other. It's going to be, I think, a great build up to the fight, and I'm looking forward to it. But that's just the main event. We've still got Poirier versus Chandler being targeted for this card. Both of these guys, this is a potential fight of the year contender right here. Poirier's got 2 wins over Conor McGregor, coming off of a loss to Charles Oliveira, the current UFC lightweight champion. But Dustin Poirier, from his wars with Eddie Alvarez to Justin Gaethje to Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier's always been one of the most gritty and entertaining fighters in the division, in whatever division he's fighting in, whether it was featherweight or lightweight, or shit, if he goes up to 170, this would be at 155. But Michael Chandler, on the other hand, 2-2 since coming to the UFC, long-time Bellator lightweight champion, been one of the guys for a long time that everybody knew could compete with the top contenders in the UFC, and now he's showcasing it. He's showcasing it in his fights, that all of his fights he's had, with his win over Dan Hooker, his war with Justin Gaethje, his highlight reel knockout over Tony Ferguson. That was the knockout of the year contender that he just had. So both of these guys they can't avoid fight of the years just with themselves. So I don't see how this isn't a potential fight of the year. You can call that, you can book that, and I'm looking extremely forward to this fight. This might be the co-main event. That's not even a guarantee. It's not a title fight. We're going to Madison Square Garden, but this fight is just as exciting as Pereira versus Adesanya. So I cannot wait for this card. I'm hoping this fight materializes. With that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think about UFC 281 in the comments. What do you think about Adesanya versus Pereira? Who do you think is going to win? And Poirier versus Chandler, same. Who do you think is going to win that fight? Let me know in the comments.